Life's rhythm, the temptations, the gaps, the shattering of boundaries, detachment, are all taking over our agenda, sweeping us away, leaving us prisoners, slaves to a present drawing further away from what is appropriate and expedient. Not too far back, wandering the streets doing nothing was an expression of vanity. Nowadays, vanity has taken on new forms. Ben-Gurion well expressed his goals. This nation, educated on historical destiny and the vision of the end of days, must educate mainly for the future well-being and not only for the call of the hour. Youth movements have been active in Israel since the early 20s of the former century. In 1987, former Secretary Yoske Shapira establishes Oz, the first and only movement for kids 6 to 9 years old to be active in Israel up to date.
Yoske Shapira, who runs Oz, is a tremendous person. He's totally honest, impeccable integrity, a personal friend for many years. One who is an ardent Zionist, not only a patriot, but a patriot for the children.
Oz is the only movement in the country appealing to children in 1st to 3rd grades, offering 3 years of extensive informal education. The goal of the Oz movement is to constitute an alternative, a necessary complement to the formal institutions, filling the kids' spare time with meaningful contents. Love of the people, the country, and certainly love of the fellow man are the main messages carried out to the instructors and to the kids, most of whom are periphery residents.
The Oz movement performs a unique service in Israel. It takes care of small children from the age of 6 to 9, children that are not tended to in any formal network. It takes them off the streets, it gives them a framework, it enriches the lives of these children, it prepares them for the youth movements, it saves a lot of souls. I can think of no worthier cause at any time, but especially now.
We do not deal with themes that offer only fun and experience. One has to be familiar with our goals in order to fully comprehend the added value of the movement. Aside from drawing hearts together and gap bridging, one of our main goals is to provide 3 years of informal education. Cheap things are acquired with little effort, whereas expensive things call for more diligence. The guiding principle is that quality can only be obtained with hard work. Educating the future generation relies on the same principle. Recognizing all that these children accomplish, we think it is very important for each child to be a part of a youth movement, no matter which one. There is a great deal of attention and understanding on behalf of the national public, an increasing awareness of Oz's right to survive as it helps implant values in the children, making it easier for them to integrate in a healthier Israeli society. Today, more than ever, education should provide us with the ability to listen, to be attentive. Over the years, a great deal of the movement's work has been dedicated to the benefit of the children of development towns. Oz was established for that purpose exactly, offering classes for the children of weaker neighborhoods, periphery, and development towns, places in which the families cannot afford informal education for their children. Whereas the youth movements gained recognition and national support, Oz still has to fight for its survival. Out of consideration for the families, there is a payment of only 50 shekels per year for each child who joins the movement. In some cases, Oz even embraces children at its own expense, because a lot of the families rely on welfare and cannot afford even this symbolic amount. Despite the fact that it is not budgeted by the state, Oz has managed to grow steadily and more intensely in the last few years, doubling the number of kids from 6,000 5 years ago to 12,000 in the last year. Our vision is to have 60 to 70% of the children studying in the schools in which we are active become members of the Oz movement. We seek to keep protecting the kids from vanity by creating more supportive settings, which will guide them to an active continuation within the youth movements. We aspire to provide the kids with meaningful quality time activities. It is fair to say that Oz is playing a role which was otherwise greatly missed.
This is the time to help the children of Israel. This is the time to help us.